And rolling. Well, welcome to a late night ijdm video. This kind of comes from a discussion I just had with a good buddy of mine that lives nearby, and about everything I've been doing. And let's just adjust this camera. Oh, I got it too tight. Okay, there we go. That's a little better, right? No? Somewhere there. Okay, that's good enough. So about all this retro tech stuff I've been dealing with, and for now, for now, I'm kind of done with this and this, and I'll explain. The thing with retro tech is you're gonna have issues. You fix it, it's gonna break again. The floppy drive thing, you've heard about this if you watch any of my videos. It's got a band inside, and realigning it and trying to get a new one attached, I mean, it's been a no-go. And for some reason, I've tried to retrobrite this multiple times. I cannot get it right, and I just kept this one floppy drive just to have something in the laptop, which belongs to a Toshiba 400 CDT. And I'm sick of taking these things apart at this point and trying to get to the band and not destroy any of the connectors and all the craziness going inside, because it is very thin. I mean, it's thin. I mean, it's just one of those things. I don't know what's different with the laptops from the compact series or the IBM ThinkPads, if they're a direct drive or the bands are just better. But I mean, maybe they'll fail eventually, who knows. But for some reason, these Toshiba drives, it's far and few between that you can find one that's working. And the first one I had did work for like 2 weeks, and then nope, not working anymore. So that's the story with that one. And you want to collect this stuff. Well, if you want to put it on a shelf and you're not really going to use it, maybe use it once, that's fine and dandy. But I really want to use this stuff once in a while. And this is a dandy that I've actually been working on, and I actually had a whole thing scripted out. Yes, I had a scripted video. Can you believe that? I actually had a whole thing planned out on it. But the latest thing on this one is I hit the play button. I'm not going to do it because there's copyrighted material on this cassette I recorded back in the 80s in terrible quality, and I'm sure I'll get flagged for playing 5 seconds of terrible quality cassette tape audio on my channel, so I'm not going to do that. But if I hit play, the gear I thought I fixed in this thing, and I didn't show it because there was a lot of cussing involved, and there was just no way I recorded some of it, and I was just like, there was just no way when I was working on this thing that I could even show it, and the frustration I had, it doesn't make for a fun video. But maybe if I work on it again, I'll have a little more patience. But what's happening with it right now is I did fix the drive gear that engages the play button, and it's a separate gear from fast forward and rewind. And what happens is when I hit play, it works for a minute, and then I think the gear or something starts slipping into one little mechanism, and I'll show that in a future video, and if I get this thing working again. And this is a really neat tape deck, and I'm just going to point out real quick that it's just was it eating the tape there too when they were just sitting there? Maybe they just eat tapes when they're just sitting there, not even playing. But I did get the tape out of the actual tape, the actual ribbon out of there, but it was a mess in there. But this is one of those ones you don't put it on the door and push it down. It's actually one you actually, and there's something satisfying about that was lost in a lot of tape decks, that I don't know, maybe it was better for the tapes, who knows. But we will feature something like this in the future. I don't know if it'll be this exact one, and I do love it because this thing is, I mean, this is my hand, and this is how big it is. It's not a big tape recorder or cassette unit. I mean, it's fairly small. And this, by the way, and I'm probably giving something out I shouldn't, that the CTR 75 Realistic is actually the same, I believe the same almost exact unit as the Tandy one that they sold for Tandy Computers for loading cassette from the Tandy Coco series that came in this small form factor. I know there was a larger one that they came out. And lastly, on why I am slowly moving off of mech tech. I mean, I'll still do with floppy drives, obviously, but as far as tape mech and that cassette deck I showed, is this beast that you saw in a recent video. And this thing, I just got another tape, and I don't even know who sent it. Thank you to whoever sent this to me, because I don't even remember buying it or whatever, and whoever sent it to me, thank you, because this is really cool. Because I mean, yeah, I like to collect these, but I like to have something maybe to play them on or show other people. But this thing just, it worked fine after the hairdryer trick, and I did that video, and then it sat for about a week, and then I tried to pop that cassette in today, and it just gave me the eject air again. And I don't know how many times you can keep heating up something with a hair dryer. And something in my mind, and I'm sure a lot of people can make a comment on this, like there's so many times you can reheat something and it's like with a hair dryer that it's gonna work. I mean, something else is gonna fail. You're gonna melt something is gonna go loose or whatever. But I mean, it does still work, and I mean, I could do other stuff with it, but I mean, the whole thing is I want to use all this cool mech inside. But at this point, I mean, it is just so much in there. I mean, it's a ton of stuff, and it's so hard to deal with. And this is such a cool camera, and the fact that I realized it's more rare than I thought it was, it's just a cool piece to have, and maybe it just will sit as a museum piece for now on. And
this is the second time I've had to reclaim my property from you. That belongs in a museum.
Maybe I'll find some kind of other player or whatever, but I was hoping to use this in a future video for something I had planned along with the tape deck thing, and kind of doing something kind of fun for a change instead of, I'm not really griping, and I know it sounds kind of negative, but it's just one of those things I want to warn people about when you're trying to deal with old laptops and compacts and Toshibas and old laptops and stuff like that, and floppy drives and even CD-ROMs. There's mechanical stuff involved where we forget nowadays that most stuff doesn't run on old spinner drives that actually had a mechanism. It's all solid. Most stuff is solid state now, and it's changed a lot. And you're not relying on actual mechanics. You're actually relying on technology purely, that like chips and stuff like that. And it was just something I wanted to point out, that if you do plan on collecting this stuff, I mean, some of the stuff you may be able to use right away. And I mean, I got lucky on this camera. I didn't pay more than, I think I paid like $21. I looked it up. I paid $21 plus some shipping for it, and it's in impeccable shape as far as I'm concerned. And it's a nice piece to have, but I would like it usable. I mean, I don't want to just take stuff and throw it on a shelf. So I would love to have this fully working, but as far as reseating all the solder joints, and if it's something, it definitely does not like the cold. It likes the heat. It likes it hot. And obviously with the hair dryer thing, it fixes it, but I don't want to keep doing that. And until I have something else to do with it, I'm not going to do that again. This I've given up on, unless somebody knows how to fix this. Then this floppy drive, maybe, I don't know. Maybe there is somebody can offer suggestions, but I mean, I got pretty big hands and thick fingers here, so I'm not good with this stuff, and I'm older, so I do shake a little bit, if you've seen in a few of my videos. And this is the other thing I would love to get fully working, but the gear inside was cracked, and I did my best to repair it with what I know, and just looking at stuff and just looking at it with my eye. And that's how I repair stuff. I just look at it and just be careful when I'm taking it apart that I'm not breaking a cable or whatever. And unlike these things, this thing was a little easier, but it's still, I mean, it's just, there was so much involved in it with belts and so forth. And luckily there was some schematics on how to run the belt, and I did get the belt that matches, but the gears, yeah, it is what it is. But anyways, just a fair warning, if you're dealing with some of this older technology, that there is things you're going to have to deal with and be prepared for. If you want them just as museum pieces and they look good and they're pristine, that's fine. Honestly, if they're that pristine, they probably still work. But most of the stuff I got, I mean, the tape deck, the camera, it was fingerprints and grease and whatever else you could throw at it. I mean, this thing looked like somebody had ate like a plate of spaghetti over it. I mean, it took me forever to clean this one up. And it still has its little falses here and there. You just can't see them because I don't show them, but there's a little crack right there. And the feet obviously had come off, so I just put some new feet on there, and you know, it's fine. It's a nice little piece to have. I like this stuff to actually work, so I can do videos with them and do fun stuff with them. And I probably didn't plan on doing much more with this one, but after the surgence of the 8mm and the interest in this one, I like, well, maybe. that's it for now, and hope you like this video. If not, I have plenty others that are far more interesting than this one. This was just a late night. Let's just hang out and take a look at why this stuff is a headache. But I will say one thing on closing: it is fun when you get an old laptop working again, or you clean something up, or you fix something and it starts working again. The amount of satisfaction you get from it is truly amazing. It really brings you back and kind of puts you in perspective of today versus yesterday. And that's one of the things why I guess people watch these channels, is because of this stuff. And I do modern stuff. I'm aware of the CarPlay thing, and how many people have actually watched that is actually, I'm very humbled by that it's a new piece of modern tech. And if you haven't checked that out, please sure to do that as well. And with that, I'm going to close. We'll see you next time.